Hello and welcome back to the channel Held Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you're seeing and if you want to see more. Coming up in this episode, Super League referee has his say over player milking decisions. Plus highlights from Warrington Wolves versus Toulouse. So before we go into the highlights, we have some information from Robert Hicks, who has called on players to stop handling injured opposition and to stop milking injuries in order to gain an advantage during games. Hicks was appointed the RFL's Director of Operations and Legal in October of 2021, and it meant a move to part-time refereeing within the sport, but has often seen officiating in the top division as well. Speaking on the latest episode of the Simbin, the panel, which included on-field officer Dave Rotherham, discussed the latest rise of milking penalties. Hicks also called on players to stop touching injured players or opposition playing lying on the ground. He told presenter Rod Studd, "We're big on it because it's become an issue in the sport this season. Until this year, we had one or two instances across the last 3 or 4 years. We reminded clubs over the last couple of years about this. As this season has gone on, we've seen more and more players continue to do it despite an actual email sent out to clubs partway through the season. The message could not be clearer from the governing body. People have to stop moving injured players, even if they think the player is injured. It's not for the players to make the decision. Leave that to the experts. I know there's been some criticism within the sport about players milking injuries in order to win penalties. We've had that incident a few years ago. We managed to get rid of it because the players, the coaches and the referees all worked together to stop it. My advice to players and coaches would be that you need to call out the players in your own club and they need to stop doing that. You're not helping the look of the sport. It's about time the players, if they stay down and receive treatment they need and stop trying to milk extra penalties and extra sanctions against opposition players. It's not a good look for the sport and it needs to stop. I think there's been a few less milking incidents this year than there was last, to be fair. I called out one player a couple of times in milking it. But now this year, noticeably, there have been less issues, but there's been more issues of players actually taking the attitude into their own hands that they are the ones that are going to get penalised because of it and the faking. There have been a couple of 8-match bans been issued out in the RFL, but a 3-match ban for the exact same thing in the Super League. As well as stopping this out, there has to be consistency in the judiciary. Otherwise, the players that are getting the bigger bans can appeal and should be successful if the Super League deems it so. Anyway, let's hope that it does cut out before the playoffs, because we're in for a great tournament at the end of the season once all this is cleared up. We turn our attention to the Super League now as the weekend starts as normal on Thursday night. So, before we go into the actual game of who's playing, what the stakes are and things like that, we are going to have a look at a quick recap of where we stand after 22 rounds. Thursday saw a tough defeat for Toulouse at the Robins as the Robins came out 22 points to 16 victors on the opening game of the weekend. Huddersfield Giants beat Hull FC 22 points to 16 as the Giants are looking for that second place position. Warrington Wolves got beat at Wigan Warriors 32 points to 6. A depleted Warrington Wolves fought bravely in the first few moments, but Wigan ground out the win. St Helens faced Castleford Tigers, and a depleted St Helens did go into a unassailable lead on the Saturday game, but the Tigers have Barreto Faraimo to thank for all 12 points. Wakefield Trinity lost a tough one against Catalan's Dragons. Buidiaha scored a hat-trick for the Catalan's Dragons, despite him being hit with a bereavement over the week. And Sunday's final game was Leeds Rhinos defeating their playoff rivals Salford Red Devils 34 points to 14. Which led to, after the round, a league table that looks like this. St Helens are still 4 points clear of Warrington, Wigan Warriors, while Huddersfield Giants are still in 3rd place. Catalan's Dragons are only a point behind the Giants, but are 6 points clear of Castleford Tigers, who are closely followed by Leeds Rhinos by 1 point, then 2 points to Salford Red Devils, Hull FC, and then Hull KR. Warrington Wolves are 6 points behind the Robins as they look to get away from the relegation picture, but are in a run of form that could see them struggle towards the end of the year. Wakefield Trinity are second from bottom, 2 points behind Warrington Wolves, but then Toulouse are only 4 points behind the Wolves, despite being bottom of the ladder. Which leads us to the fixture in hand, as the first game of the weekend sees Warrington face Toulouse in a battle near the bottom. Toulouse looking to close the gap on the Wolves by 2 points and go back in front of Wakefield Trinity. The Warrington Wolves, on the other hand, are looking to pull themselves away to make sure that they're safe for the 2023 season, with big name rugby league stars from the NRL coming over to play for Warrington, and relegation could jeopardise that. It wouldn't be a good look for the World Cup either, as the Halliwell Jones Stadium hosts 5 of the men's games during the Rugby League World Cup, as well as the PDRL team World Cup games. To have a championship club, another one, in charge of, despite the venue's qualities, would be a little bit embarrassing for Warrington, as well as the Rugby League World Cup 2021 campaign group. But anyway, to the game itself. If Toulouse are going to survive in the Super League, this has to become a must-win game for the French side. After surrendering a lead late on against the Robins last week, Toulouse remain bottom and need a win to rekindle their survival hopes, which a month ago looks so promising. After a win for Toulouse would drag Warrington into the thick of the relegation scrap, as it would leave them just 2 points behind Warrington, as we've seen. Though a win would surely secure Warrington's Super League status if they are to beat the French team. Despite the defeat last week, Warrington have only made one change to their 21-man squad for this week's must-win game. It is a big one though, as star signing Matt Duffy returns in place of Riley Dean, who played for the reserves last week. Toulouse injury list is just getting longer this week, with the likes of Joseph Paulo and Andrew Dixon absent. It will be interesting if Tony Gigot returns to the mix after missing the whole KR game. This will be a battle that begins in the mind, with both suffering damaging defeats last week and needing to get back on the horse. If they are to save their season, then it will be a case of building pressure through the middle and taking the chances out wide, as well as avoiding a late crumble, which has been the hallmark of both recently. Matty Russell also returns to Warrington, a place where he's had some fond memories, and is in hot scoring form. Can he do so against Warrington and put them in further trouble? So on we go to the team news, and there's only one change in the back line, as we see Tony Gigot comes in at halfback for Lucas Albert, who drops out of the 17 completely. Otherwise it was Ollie Bolt, Latrell Shamkel and Matt Russell being the starting back three. Chris Hankinson and Matthew Joseph will be the centres. Corey Norman continues to partner Gigo in a return to the usual starting halfbacks for Toulouse, while Roman Navarre and Daniel Alvaro continue as the starting forwards. But it's in the pack that there are no changes either, with Nathan Peets acting halfback, Joe Breverton, Dominic Peru and Anthony Marion all starting, like they did against the Robins last time out. On the bench, you could say the exact same thing. Alois Pelissier, Justin Sangare, Lambert Balmas, who has been a revelation since signing from Catalan, and Harrison Hansen complete the lineup. For Warrington, though, it is Josh Toulouse who misses out as Matt Duffy comes back into the starting lineup. But it is more or less as you were once again for the Warrington Wolves. Connor Range, Peter Matautier, Jake Wardle and Matty Ashton are the ones in the back line, with Stephen Ratchford and George Williams continuing at halfback. Joe Bullock comes into the forwards to partner James Harrison instead of Robbie Mulhern, and Darryl Clark at acting halfback. On the back line, it is also still the same. Ben Curry, Matty Nicholson and also Oliver Holmes complete the lineup. On the bench, we see Mulhern take Bullock's place on the bench, but again, it's as you were. Jason Clark, Danny Walker and Thomas McKaylee being the bench players for Warrington tonight. Warrington got the first points of the night after George Williams attacked the line from deep, and Warrington went through the hands, which made Matty Ashton's kick to Oliver Holmes fantastic, as he went over for his first try in Warrington colours at the Halliwell Jones Stadium. Video referee was called into action, but Chris Kendall had said it was a try on field, and the video referee reciprocated by saying try as well. Just some great off-the-cuff play. Pass, attack, pass from Curry, pass by Duffy, kick inside by Ashton. Ollie Shot Botts wasn't able to finish the tackle on Oliver Holmes, and Holmes just went over, despite the despairing dive from Peru to try and stop the second rower. Just kept moving, Oliver Holmes, and he got over on the second effort, not tackled. Next try came from Matt Duffy as he passed out wide to Connor Wrench, who was free to score in the corner. It was now 10 points to nil after Ratchford's conversion, which he also converted from out wide for 12 points to nil. Duffy just attacked the line. Matty Russell had come in too far and Wrench scored. A great try here in the second half from Toulouse. Not in the second half, straight after by Toulouse, as Corey Norman got on the end of a scrum play. As you saw, Tony Gigo went to the left, dragging out Stephen Ratchford, and then Nathan Peets found a gap for Corey Norman to go over. 12-6 thanks to Hankinson's conversion. Then Alois Pelissier inserted himself into the game. After Joe Breverton was held up a few meters from the line, Pelissier found Lambert Belmas, who, as he was going over for the try, the ball came free. Pelissier kept the ball going and he dotted down. The video referee looked into the decision again, as Chris Kendall said it was a try on field. He was checking the grounding and also any interference when the tackle was being made for the ball to come free, which the video referee agreed with and gave the try. Toulouse had equalised because Hankinson came over. You see there, Thomas McKaylee had put his hands on the ball to drag it free in the tackle, and that was play on for Toulouse. Otherwise, possible penalty try there. Already seen one this week. And Pelissier scored. Pelissier was the star of this 10 minutes. His speed helped start up the play the balls with some quick play, and Ollie Ashot Botts carried on the momentum as Warrington's defence looked a bit ragged through Toulouse's speed. And Placier dived over once again, beating Thomas McKaylee to the try line, getting the ball down. Chris Kendall have asked for the video referee again to look into this, and guess what? The try was given. Toulouse had turned it around. It was 18 points to 12 thanks to Hankinson converting. And just before half time, it was 18-14 due to a penalty by Ratchford. Toulouse found themselves down to 12 men due to a sin binning by Joe Breverton underneath the sticks, stopping Ratchford from scoring. And then the numbers paid dividends for Warrington as they went over in the corner with Connor Wrench. He just needed to check the the touchline, which he was clearly in, and the video referee agreed. It was a try, and Warrington had equalised. The conversion wasn't good enough though. It stayed 18-all, but not for too much longer as Toulouse discipline started to come to the fore. And Stefan Ratchford slotted over a penalty from 35 out. Next, Matt Duffy inserted himself back into the game. He was the one creating momentum for Warrington, and his short ball as he was running across the line found George Williams, who went over underneath the sticks. No need for the video referee on this one. Duffy wasn't tackled there. Everyone had dropped off him, and he kept running and found George Williams' straight ball, and he went straight through the Toulouse defence. See, no one touched him, everyone falling over each other. And it was just a simple ball to find Williams. Warrington were 26 points to 18 up. Toulouse had already been down to 12 men yet again after Harrison Hansen had been put in the bin due to mouthing off at the referee. But on the next play, 2 minutes before the end, Ben Curry dotted down off a George Williams kick. It was a fantastic, simple kick. The offsides were given as okay by the linesman, and Chris Kendall gave the try. One more look at it. Rubber into the in-goal area, almost, and Curry dotted the ball down. A massive win for Daryl Powell's team as they beat Toulouse 32 points to 18, and more or less keep Warrington in Super League for 2023. And that's it for another episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and share this video worldwide, as well as clicking that notification bell for any updates on new videos that may be coming your way. Tell me what your thoughts are on tonight's game in the comment section below. Do you think that Warrington deserved a win? Do you think Toulouse did really well and needs something extra to get them over the line? That's my personal opinions. But there is enough in that Toulouse side to keep them up in Super League. They might get a little bit help this year with other teams not winning, and they just need one win to stay up. I think it's down to Wakefield and Toulouse to see who is the wooden spooners and the ones that drop out of Super League, but your points are all valid too. I will end the episode there, and I'll just say thank you so much for watching. Please remember to share this video worldwide. I will also tell you to please look after yourself, please stay safe, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.